Hi, my name is Sydney Prosser, and I am your son or daughter's Algebra 3 Trig teacher this year. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, as we are going to go over a few expectations for the class, a few things about Algebra 3 Trig. I'll be showing you our Schoology page and our online textbook. So let's get started. On this first slide, you can find my email address. My email is going to be the best way to reach me. And if we need to set up a phone call or anything, we can do that as well, but email will be number one. This also is for, just as a reminder, periods 4 and 7 for Algebra 3 Trig. Okay, the best way that I will be communicating with students is going to be through messages on Schoology. Since we're going to be on Schoology all day anyways, this is how I'll be contacting them, as well as emailing them too when I need. The materials are pretty standard for this class: pencil, notebook. It is also highly recommended that students have a TI-84 graphing calculator. They'll be using that in this class, in next year's math class, in college, as well in their science classes. So it's a great purchase to make. I would check Amazon first because they can be a little pricey, as well as though if they can't get a graphing calculator, at least a scientific graphing calculator with trig functions is going to be what we need. Being online, there's tons of resources that students can use to get either one of these calculators, but when we get back into the classroom, we do want to make sure we have either one of these. And then our textbook is all online, which I'll show you in a few minutes. These are the topics that we are going to be getting through this year. You'll notice the first few are a good review of algebra, and then the second half is when we dive into trig. The first chapter we're going to talk about is a lot of review. It's the prerequisites chapter about algebraic equations. Our grades in this class are going to be broken down into two categories. 80% of the students' grades will be assessments, so this is going to be projects, quizzes, and tests, and then 20% of their grade will be smaller things, homework, classwork, other assignments. For the most part, I like to set the expectation that I don't take late work. We need to stay on top of our things, our assignments, and make sure they're all turned in on time. It's a good practice and habit for students to get into. However, I do understand that this is a new territory we're getting into with online learning. I'm very understanding and flexible. If something is late, tell your student to just send me an email, a message my way to help me understand why things are late, and I'll try to work with them. When we're submitting late work, we want to make sure students shoot me an email after or before or whenever, so I go back and grade it or give them feedback on it. Sometimes I don't get notifications when things are turned in late, so always remind them to send a message my way if they are trying to submit something late, so I can go back and take a look at it. For my class, the end-all be-all grades for all classes are Infinite Campus, right? But a little background about where or how my grades get there is: first, they get entered into Schoology because that's where everything is already. The assignments are already in Schoology, so gradebook will be first starting in the Schoology gradebook, and then I sync it over to Infinite Campus. For my class, these two gradebooks will be identical. They will be the same exact thing. If something is a little bit off, just shoot me an email. Hopefully it shouldn't happen ever, but if it does, it's an easy fix and I can fix it right away. But they should be identical. Always be on the lookout in the comments section, because if a student is doing really awesome, I'll give them a little shout out. If they need a little extra help with something, the comments will be pretty detailed, so always take a look at the comment section. On Schoology, students will be able to find our link for our Zoom sessions. Here is the schedule for the Zooms. They will be meeting with me for a live Zoom class twice a cycle on these times. If they ever miss a session, the recordings are posted on Schoology, so it's great for absences. Schoology, the Zoom sessions are going to be really utilized for questions, okay? It's going to be a time when students can ask questions from the content that they've been learning on Schoology. It's also going to be a time for us to expand our knowledge. So if there's something we need to talk about and grow and deepen the knowledge that we've learned, we'll also do that. We're going to do a lot of group work and collaborating during those Zoom sessions. So we'll hopefully make the most of the time that we have face-to-face over Zoom. In Schoology, every week will be a weekly folder. There's going to be three main things that I'm going to talk about really quickly here. Every folder will start with an agenda. So on the agenda, we'll have the objectives for that week. There'll also be a list of tasks that students will do each day. So it's a recommended schedule that students should probably try to follow so they don't turn anything in late, right? We want to stay on top of everything. And it says, okay, this is what you should be doing on Monday. This is what you should be doing on Tuesday. And then it also includes the due dates. The lessons, students are expected to do math every day. Just like if we were in school, we would be doing math every day. So there's some combination of these things for students to do. They'll be watching videos of lessons. They will be practicing math, doing interactive activities with the math. They will be participating in discussion boards as well as projects. Projects is a great way for us to tie in math to the real world around us. So it really gives purpose to the math that we're doing. That's what our projects will be used for. And then also in a folder, if we have quizzes or tests, I will always provide a study guide for students to know what's going to be on the test or the quiz, and then give them tons of review practice prior to a quiz or a test. If students are ever absent, they have the amount of days that they were out for to turn in the work. So if they were out for 2 days, they get 2 days to make the work up. Again, let me know when work has been submitted on Schoology so I can go back and grade it and give feedback. The extra help that will happen permanently in each cycle is going to be as follows on E days and F days. During the class time, those are the days that we don't have Zoom classes, so they are used for office hours. I can also meet at any time by appointment. I've already set up some last minute Zooms with students, so always reach out, remind them if they're struggling, if they need help. Shoot me a message and I'm more than happy to jump on a Zoom and help them understand what's going on. And then before tests, we will also have an additional time for a review session. Gives them time to ask questions, to practice a little bit extra with me. It'll happen mostly with tests, not with quizzes. Now we're going to take a look at a virtual tour. We're going to look at our Schoology page. So the first folder is our course headquarters, gives you a little bit of information about me, about the class, also where to find the textbook. The Zoom meetings folder has the link to our Zoom, our schedule, the recordings, and then expectations. The marking period folder, that's what all the assignments are in. So it gets broken down by week. So we're currently in week 2. The agenda, like I said, has all of the information that they need to do for the week. This is what we're doing this week. This is the topics that we're going to talk about over Zoom. And then these are the tasks that they should be focusing on each day so they don't fall behind. It's all listed in this agenda. You will find in the folder what we'll be doing. So there's videos to watch, there's practice for them to do, discussions that will be happening, as well as practice on the online textbook. So this is also in order from the first thing they're going to do in the week to the last thing they do in the week. We can quickly go ahead and take a look at the textbook that they will be using. It looks kind of like this, but this is the teacher view. The e-text is pretty much a PDF of if they had a hard copy of the textbook, the e-text is going to be what it looks like. Students will have the opportunity to look at each of the chapters and do extra practice, extra quizzes and tests. There's a study plan. There's tons of resources on here, as well as when they're actually in an assignment, there's an icon that says like help, and they can get a personal tutor. They can watch a video. There's tons of resources when they're actually in a particular assignment. Okay, that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. And I would love to chat with you about how we can make this the most successful year for your student. And thank you so much for watching. Like I said, reach out if you ever have any questions or comments. Thank you so much.